I'm sure by now this face needs no further introduction. A lot of friends have called to ask why they've not been seeing my video. The explanation is simple. It's because over the previous videos that I've made, it has ruffled some feathers and some attempt was made to arrest me. And my crime was that I dared to criticize the almighty administration that we have currently presided over by your Buhari. And I was even warned that I should never criticize him again. If better I want to make any video, they should rather be in support of the current administration. So I happen to be somebody whose conscience cannot be bought. So I was thinking things over to see how I am going to reintroduce myself. However, this is election period. A lot of indices are out to play. And I've also realized that as Southerners, we have become even more confused than we were in 2015. The parameters are still there, but the coloration is quite complex as it is right now. So, for those who have been watching my video, you would understand that my emphasis have always been on Christians and Southerners. Whatever mixture we have in Nigeria, provided it provides equal opportunities or equal benefits to Southerners and Christians, have always been my desire and emphasis. Let us get that very clear. I am not one of those Christian or Southerners whose education is overbloated to the point that they think when you look at politics from the perspective of religion, you are not as intellectual as it is supposed to be. I am not one of those who come and flower my video with grandiloquent, jaw-breaking grammar that at the end of the day only make me or turns me into an entertainer, rather than facing the reality that a group of Islamic jihadists or a group of Islamic fundamentalists have hold on to power, and they want to subjugate or subject every other citizens of Nigeria to their will and control. Period. There is no better way to describe it. Now, I like to emphasize or enlighten more on this point by an encounter I had a couple of days ago. I took a drop in Abuja and I was going back to my hotel, and we stopped at a traffic light. By that traffic light, there was a very huge Atiku campaign poster, Atiku campaign billboard. And I said in Hausa, Bagara Atiku din akan Buhari ba? And the driver who was driving me was a middle-aged guy, about 33 or thereabout. And he said, Kai, ina, Gara Buhari, so dubu akan Atiku. Now what I asked in Hausa was, is it not better we have an Atiku instead of Buhari? And the man said, it's not possible, that he would rather have a Buhari 1,000 times over than before Atiku. So I said, me yasa zaka ce haka? Yanzu baka gaji da wahalan da muna ji akan a wannan administration ba? What I asked was simple. I said, why would you say so? Are you not tired of the suffering that we are all experiencing under this administration? He said, abunda yasa, kasan Atiku shi ba musulmi bane. Amma Buhari shi ainihin musulmi ne. What he said was that Atiku is not a Muslim, but Buhari is a true Muslim. So I now said, yanzu zabin shugaban kasa sai da tunanin musulunci. So, kai kasan, Hani responded and he said, kasan ai musulmi ne ya fi lura da kasa fiye da duk wanda zai zo. What I asked in the same Hausa language was, is it now necessary that to choose the leader of a country, we must have an Islamic consideration? And he responded and he said that, look, there is no person better that can rule Nigeria if it's not a Muslim. So why I have decided to make a video, it's because this encounter supports everything that I've been coming on video to say day in, day out. The average man in the north, sometimes I laugh when I see a southerner trying to point out that the economy is hard, fuel is now 145, a bag of rice used to be 8,000, now is 20-something thousand. You're trying to point the fact that life used to be better, now it's more difficult. These points will not change the mind of a typical northerner. It won't. When I mean northern, sorry, a core northerner, it won't. What are you trying to say? That they stand a better life, a better way of living than what they used to know? What life were they living before? They are used to poverty. They are used to living like a life of misery. They're used to, in fact, they have no ambition. The northern part of Nigeria is a feudal system where some people are made to believe that they are born to be poor, and then the elites are born to be rich. It is only in this part of the country you hear people saying Allah Ebaka Kabamu, which means God should give to you and then you give to me. I can never say such a thing from my mouth. My children will never utter such thinking from their mouth. Rather, why can't God give to me to give to you? Or why can't God give all of us? So it's a mentality that is here. Now, but that's not even the point of this video. The point of this video is a group of Islamic fundamentalists are holding on to power, and they want everything about Nigeria to be Islamized. There is no way to put it. Now, what is baffling me is the fact that those who are targeted to become slaves are the very ones that are defending and fighting for this system to persist. It's like slaughtering a goat in front of another goat. The goat knows that this is the fate that is awaiting it, but the goat will still remain with its owner, waiting for the day its own turn will come for it to be slaughtered. That is how I see Christians. We are living with people who are hell-bent on perpetuating us as their slaves. We know it, you know it, I know it. And yet, when they still use the same us to perpetuate the system. Take a good look around. Who are those fighting for the perpetuity of this administration? Festus Keyamo, he's from the south. A brilliant chap I knew way back in school. Addition. Just look around. It's the same Christians and Southerners that are fighting themselves, jostling for who is a better slave, jostling to make the slave master remain in perpetuity and continue to enslave us. So sometimes I find it hard to wrap my head around this strange paradox. We have a system where a president believes that every single security apparatus must be occupied by a Muslim. That is enough to show that the only thing that is paramount to this administration is to colorize all the tenets of Nigeria with Islam. And yet, the same people that will suffer from this system are the same people that will argue with you on social media, the same people that will argue with you in a bar, the same people that will argue with you in any small debate that it is not so, that the man is honest, the man has integrity, the man oh my God. I look at this thing sometimes, I just don't know what to say again. It's like even if we release 1,000 videos, people will still remain to be idiots. I want to thank my friend Mr. Baron on social media, who tirelessly writes different narratives to suggest the evil that we call Nigeria. We are operating a system, particularly the 1999 Constitution, which has to be discarded. We cannot operate if you bring God to operate with 1999 Constitution, he will fail. So we need to change that book. That document is evil and we need to change it. So attempting to discuss Nigeria, you could even go mad. You could grow mad by just attempting to discuss Nigeria. Because if the people who are going to suffer only come to a slight realization that this is the plot against them, and they all stand in unity and say no, we'll all be living well. So what other language can one use to tell you that we need a change? Finally, I am not saying Atiku is the best choice, but let's face it, I for one am a realist. I'm a hell-bent realist. I don't use, intellectual narrative to twist issues and then choose to look it in a way that suits my grandiloquence. I don't do that. I am not saying Atiku is a thief, Atiku is gay, Atiku is this, Atiku is that. For goodness sake. Mogalu, I watched the debate. He was brilliant among the three. One of them have just withdrawn. These same three people were those who worked against the previous government. And they are here saying they want to take the same position that they deprive somebody else from remaining. But the truth is that if we are tired of what we are currently facing today, the only person you stand a chance to pull the current administration away is the same Atiku. Now, why do you think the man I was with in that vehicle didn't like Atiku? It's simple. Whatever the current administration is doing is to build and strengthen the stranglehold of Islam in Nigeria. They don't believe Atiku is going to continue with that. And that's why you see a lot of fundamental Muslims don't want Atiku. Basically, that is just it. There is nothing more about that again. There is nothing. So when you Southerners are looking at the fact that Atiku is a thief, Atiku did that, Atiku... Look, I'd rather somebody come and steal my things than to come and kill me. My life is far more important than whatever property or material things that I have in this life. So it's funny. I don't know what to say again. I'm not campaigning for Atiku. My own emphasis is that this suffering should go. I don't think the current administration, APC, if it remains again, that they are going to make anything better than what we've seen in the next 4 years. So they should go. They should go. And I sincerely believe that the only person who stands a chance, remotely or perfectly, that can remove this man is Atiku. So let's try him. And one other thing again, if we're able to remove Buhari, at least whoever is coming there will understand that if Goodluck was a ruling president, he was removed. Buhari, as strong as he is, was president and he was removed. Then whoever is coming in there will know that he too can be removed. And then the consciousness of leaders coming in, that the power to decide who remains in office in the people remains with the electorate. I believe every leader coming in there will, sit up and to a large extent not play with this mentality of people. We are tired of these people that are filled with deceit, lies. It's too much. If you're not tired of it, I am tired of it. I think it's time we changed the scenario. This corruption fight, it's bullshit. When we had corruption, we were eating well. Now there is no corruption, we can hardly eat. When we had corruption, we were buying fuel at 87 naira. Now there's no corruption, we are buying fuel at 145. If you are not tired, I am tired. To wrap up this video, I want to pray for those senseless people. I know you are somewhere and your sense has been taken by the propaganda machinery that has been brought in by this administration. So kneel down and let me pray for you. Reke sandarabobo shika sandari ba sandarabobo riba ba ba ba. Any person that is about to go to the polling unit and you are going to vote foolishly, Father Lord, return the sense back to that man in Jesus' name. Return the sense back to that woman in Jesus' name. Return senses back to those boy, that girl, that child. Please return sense back. The suffering in the land is too much. I decree peace in 2019. I decree a good president in Nigeria in 2019. Gentlemen, I think it's about time we wrap up this video. Please forget the comic relief. The seriousness of the video is that Buhari must go.